continues. Good afternoon, actually still morning. Good morning, Dave Wilson with you. Our first of 3 games here at the Rowdy Center will feature the University Hawks and the Huntington Highlanders. Last night, Huntington and University both in action. Both came up on the short end in the first day of the Little General Classic. University took on Washington, had opportunities in that ball game, but fell short, 65-49. University was able to close the deficit a couple of occasions, but every time the Hawks would get close, Washington would hit a couple of shots, hit 50% from 3 in the second half, and pull away. Eventually, Washington wins that game 65-49. Huntington was taking on Morgantown last night, and that game was just all Mohegans. Morgantown cranked up the pressure, went on a 24-5 run in the third quarter, and put that game away handily. Morgantown cruising to a 30-point victory last night over Huntington. So these two teams looking for some redemption today on day 2 of the Little General Holiday Classic here at Morgantown High. Some bright spots for University last night. Zach Dimidovich, 14 points in double figures. Also, Luke Byer had 13 points. Dimidovich got rolling in the second half of that ball game, and that made a difference as University was trying to close the gap. But again, the Hawks still trying to feel some things out. They'll go 9 or 10 deep, but talking to Coach Joe Schmidl prior to the game today, still trying to feel out the lineup, figure out which guys fit where the best and which rotation he wants to go with. Of course, we're only 3-4 games into the season. On the Huntington side, the Highlanders are without a couple of key players, including Tavion Wilson. Wilson, who had 3 double-doubles last year, 6'3", he's in street clothes. He's out today, so the work is going to fall to guys such as Tristan Hornbuckle, Isaiah Lapsley, and Avante Crawford. Those guys were held in check last night against Morgantown, as well just about everybody up and down the lineup was, and that is going to be a common theme all year long when the Mohegans are on the floor. You know Morgantown is going to defend. Morgantown defended last night against Huntington. So the Hawks and the Highlanders looking to get back on the winning side of things here today. Taking a look at our Thrashers' keys to the game. Tempo is going to be a factor in this ball game. University would like to slow this game down, get into half-court sets. Huntington is a quicker, more athletic team. The Highlanders want to create in transition, get turnovers, get up and down the floor, play a quick style. University would like to slow it down just a tad. One of the things both teams struggled with last night were second chance opportunities. University missed some point-blank shots. Huntington just couldn't get anything. Nothing was coming easy against that Morgantown defense. So second chance opportunities, you're going to have to go down there and battle. University certainly has the big guys to do that. Zach Dimidovich, he goes 6'5". You've got Luke Byer, who goes 6'4". You've got Jack Byer, who's 6'4". Those guys down low are going to have to battle, and University is bigger than Huntington. Crawford goes 6'3", Chandler goes 6'4", but University has some more beef on its side. Also throw KK Lewis in there as well. Second chance opportunities, you got to make the most of those. And finally, you got to finish at the rim. Something both teams again struggle with. University, when it had those opportunities to close the deficit, missed some point-blank shots. And again for Huntington, and I think this is going to be the case for a lot of teams, nothing coming easily against a tenacious Morgantown defense. Had trouble when it did get opportunities to attack the rim of being able to get there and get the job done. Tempo, second shots, finishing. Those are your Thrashers' keys to the game for today's contest. The Hawks and the Highlanders coming up here from the Rowdy Center. This is the first of 3 games today. Our second game will feature the homestanding Mohegans. Morgantown will take on Washington. And Morgantown looked good last night. Washington looked good in spurts last night as well. That will be the middle game. We'll also have that game for you on WAJR. And later this afternoon in girls action, it'll be Morgantown and Spring Mills. That game set to tip off at 3 o'clock. Exclusive video streaming coverage of that game available over on the Metro News TV app and at WVMetroNews.com. 2 games in the books in the Little General Holiday Classic. 3 more to go. We'll start with the Huntington Highlanders, rated number 3 in the latest AP poll, and the University Hawks. That's game 1 of 3 here this afternoon at the Rowdy Center. Come on back. We'll have the starting lineups and the tip-off in just a moment. University and Huntington coming up next.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a little general store near you. With brand name gas and foods you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's Toyotathon! Now over $6,000 off 2024 Tundras. So start your new year off with a new Toyota. Merry Christmas from Dan Cabot Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thora!
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there? At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have. No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Our big winter sale is on now, so come cozy up to these great deals. Come check out our large selection of GMC Canyons for you to choose from. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora!
Ready to go at the Rowdy Center. Game 1 of 3 today, featuring University High and Huntington High. Starting lineups, first for the Highlanders. Starting 5 for Lambros Savingos will be Tristan Hornbuckle, Isaiah Lapsley, Avante Crawford, Tavion Chandler, and Jamari Tubbs, the starting 5 for the Huntington Highlanders. Chase Adams, Zach Dimidovich, KK Lewis, Luke Byer for the Hawks, along with Glenn Brown, the starting 5 for veteran head coach Joe Schmidl this afternoon. Everybody's ready to go, except for the officials. They're the last ones on the floor. We're ready to play some basketball. Hawks coming off a loss last night to Washington, looking to rebound. Huntington coming off the loss to Morgantown on the last evening. University in the black uniforms trimmed out in red. Huntington in the whites trimmed out in green and gold. Luke Byer and Tavion Chandler at midcourt. Ball in the air. It's tipped, and nobody controls it. Going to go out of bounds on the far sideline, and will go to University. Hawks are on the home bench. Actually, they're on the visitors' bench today. Joe Schmidl was lobbying for the home bench before the game. Hawks working inside from 14. No good out of the right hand of Byer. Got his rebound. Second shot off the mark. And another offensive rebound chased down by Adams. They'll back it out in between the rings, and University goes back to work in the half court. Lewis from the top of the key tries to enter for Dimidovich. She's able to fight through two defenders, get to the rim, and put it home. Zach Dimidovich, first points of the ball game. 2-0 Hawks. Huntington on its first possession. Tubbs from the left wing sends it around the edge to Hornbuckle. Out on the right wing. Into the paint, and Highlanders will throw it away. Goes over the head of Lapsley, out of bounds, and another turnover to the Hawks. University struggled with turnovers last night. Usually they came at inopportune times. Not that any time is a good time for a turnover. Dimidovich at the top of the key, fakes the handoff to Brown cutting, and got a foul on the inside. Dimidovich trying to work his way to the rim. Foul is called on Tavion Chandler, his first, team's first. on the floor. University gets it into play. Get it to Demidovich on the right block. Forces his way to the rim. Misses everything. Got a hack on the rebound. Going to be called on University. That is on Demidovich, his first. Demidovich, 14 points last night. One of two players for University in double figures. Luke Byer was the other with 13. Just underway, one bucket between these two teams. That belongs to University so far. Tubbs working off the right wing. Picked up by Lewis. Gives to Lapsley. Lapsley angling in off the left, and a foul called as he worked his way to the lane. That's on Demidovich, and he's picked up 2 fouls in the first minute and a half. University can ill afford to lose their big man down on the inside, and he's already picked up 2 fouls. And Demidovich is going to be sitting for the majority of the first half here. So Jack Byer, the 6'4 junior, will replace Demidovich in the lineup. Crawford's inbound pass tipped and stolen by Brown. Here goes Brown on the run out, taking it off the right side, steps through, lays it in. Glenn Brown with the bucket, 4-0 University. On the right side, Chandler on the wing, dribbles into the paint, throws it away again. Third turnover in the first 2 minutes of the game on Huntington. I think he was looking for a cutter down there, and there was just nobody home. Some pressure this time by Huntington as University works it up the floor, and a travel called to the backcourt on Luke Byer. Slid his pivot foot as he was trying to slow up and get that pass back to Adams on the near side, so University promptly turns it over. Crawford will toss it in, and Lapsley will go to work running the point. Gets the high screen. Can't do anything with it, so Tubbs will take over at the top of the key. Drives left of the lane, scoop with the right hand off the mark. Offensive rebound by Crawford. Fighting under the basket, goes up with the right hand. Misses off the left of the iron, tipped out of bounds, and will stay on Huntington's end of the floor. Just under 6 minutes to go, first quarter, 4-0 Hawks. Huntington searching for its first field goal of the game. Toss it in for Hornbuckle. In between the circles, jab step, and he'll give it up to Tubbs over in the corner for Chandler. Chandler coming off the right wing into the paint, kicks back out top of the key for Lapsley. Lapsley backs out, trying to work off the screen. Little pick and roll, kick it over into the corner. 3 from the wide open right side, no good. Chandler can't get the 3 to go. Crawford gets the offensive rebound. Kick it up for Tubbs. Here goes Tubbs on the dribble drive. Right side, no good. And a foul on the rebound going to go on Tavian Chandler. That is his second. Chandler going up for that rebound, got a piece of the ball and a piece of KK Lewis and threw them both to the floor. Still 4-0 University with the lead, 5:26 first quarter. Hawks able to pass through the pressure. Brown coming off the right wing, drives all the way to the hoop, lays it in. Glenn Brown, couple of layups here in the first quarter. Hawks on a 6-0 run to begin the ball game. Hornbuckle hands off to Daneka, who's checked into the ball game. Huntington works around the outside of Lapsley. Lapsley, floater from the baseline, good. First bucket of the game for Huntington stops that 6-0 run. Pass up the floor, deflected out of bounds on the far sideline. Will stay with University. Just under 5 minutes to play. First quarter, 6-2. Hawks with the early advantage. Chase Adams will toss it in. Brown brings it across the timeline. He'll slide right, enter it down low for Byer. Byer working off the right block, kick outside. Jack Byer, long 3, no good. Rebound grabbed by Lapsley. He'll heave it up the floor to Crawford. Crawford misses the point blank layup. Rebound out of bounds off of Huntington, back to the Hawks. Huntington can't seem to buy a shot here in the first quarter. And credit KK Lewis coming in from behind. He altered Crawford just enough that he missed that layup. Hawks passing back and forth, able to break the pressure. Adams in between, or in the paint, gets it down to Lewis. Lewis from the right block, misses high off the glass. Rebound out of bounds to Huntington. 4:26 first quarter, still 6-2. Both these teams playing on back-to-back days. Huntington played the later game last night, took on Morgantown. University played the early game yesterday. Hornbuckle takes down the left of the lane, kick outside. They'll fire to Crawford over in the far corner. Now back up and around the outside all the way to the near corner. Tubbs dribble drive on the baseline. Shot turned away by Byer. Goes off the Hawks out of bounds on the baseline and will stay with Huntington. Hornbuckle inbound right of the basket on the baseline. Smacks the basketball, sends his guys in motion. Still looking, he'll lob it out in the front court for Lapsley. Lapsley taking a couple of dribbles, slides right, angles in, drives to the rim. He is tied up with Jack Byer, and the possession arrow will keep the ball on Huntington's end of the floor. 3:54 first quarter, still 6-2. Offense hard to come by here in the first 4 minutes and 6 seconds of this game. Into Lapsley, fouled from behind by Brown. First on Glenn Brown, third on the Hawks here in the first quarter. Avante Crawford fires in the inbound pass. Lapsley over to the right side. Hornbuckle right wing three, left it short. And Adams grabs the rebound for the Hawks. Adams pushes it down the floor, get it to Brown on the near sideline. Back to Adams, and he'll skip it left side for Luke Byer. Luke Byer takes it down the left of the lane. Off the block, lays it in. First field goal for Byer. 8-2 Hawks. 3.5 minutes to play here in the opening quarter of the game. Lapsley on the near side. Dribbles it into the lane and got a whistle. Foul's going to be called on Glenn Brown. He picked up his second personal, team's fourth. Lapsley will inbound, bounce it in. Daneka, left corner three, short. High rebound grabbed by Lewis. And the Hawks go on the run. Adams brings it up the floor. Lewis on the right wing trying to enter for Byer. Has it kicked out of bounds. Will stay with the Hawks. University will send Jagger Barnes into the game. He will replace Glenn Brown in the lineup, who's got 2 personal fouls. And Huntington wants a timeout. 3:13 to go here in the first quarter. University out to an 8-6 lead. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here at the Rowdy Center. Coming up in just a bit, Game 2 will feature the homestanding Mohegans. Morgantown, big win over the Huntington Highlanders last night, will take on Washington. That game is scheduled to tip around 1 o'clock. And later, Morgantown girls will be in action. Morgantown taking on Spring Mills in girls basketball. That game scheduled for a 3 o'clock tip. Exclusive video streaming of that game on the Metro News TV app and WVMetroNewsTV.com. In fact, all 3 games being streamed. And we'll have the first two games on WAJR today as well. 3:13 first quarter, Hawks 8 and the Highlanders 2. University basketball coming out of the timeout. Adams to inbound. Right of the baseline, floats it into Byer and over to Lewis, just to the left of the top of the key. Work it into Barnes on the left block, back outside to Lewis. Left side baseline drive. Lewis with the 2-hand dunk. 10-2 Hawks, 3 minutes to go. Tubbs with a 3 on the left side. Off the right of the rim, no good. Lewis flies in for the rebound. Adams splits a couple of defenders and had the ball poked out from behind, but is going to be called for a reach. Avante Crawford picks up the foul, his first, team's third. Adams will do the honors on the far sideline in front of the scorer's table. Bounces it into the back court. Over the red block in to Jagger Barnes, and Barnes will go to work. Luke Byer from the left wing. Get it to Adams. Long 2 straight away. High arcing shot, misses everything. Byer saves it from going out of bounds, but he throws it right to the waiting hands of Huntington. Crawford on the other end. Crawford to the rim, lays it in. And a foul called on the Hawks. Count the bucket, call the foul on Chase Adams. That is his first and the team's fifth. And at the line to shoot is Avante Crawford. Crawford just 3 points in last night's effort against Morgantown. And one opportunity off the mark. Score remains 10-4 with 2:25 to play in the first quarter. Adams across the timeline, down the middle of the court, now works left side. Bounce top of the key. Lewis lines up a three and takes it. Too long. Rebound tipped out. Crawford will grab it. Fired up the floor to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle on the run out. Skip past the near side. Deflected. Byer got a hand on it. Knocked it out of bounds. Huntington had an opportunity there on the break, but University able to get back on defense. Byer able to get a hand on it and make a nice play. 2 minutes remain in the first quarter. University up 6. Lapsley from the left of the key. Hands to Daneka, and he'll take it back in between the circles and around to the right wing for Crawford. Lapsley, a couple of jab steps, slides right, now back to his left, and Huntington turns it over again. And these aren't forced errors. Huntington just not being careful with the basketball, threw it away. Lapsley threw it out of bounds, looking for Tubbs, and Tubbs was not looking for the pass. Lapsley will take a seat. Ethan Dalton has checked in. So has Artie Caprino. Minute 45, first quarter. 10-4. University with the lead. Top of the key. Luke Byer takes it down into the paint, spinning to his right. High off the glass, no good. Tubbs goes up, gets the defensive rebound for the Highlanders. Tubbs will push it down the floor for Huntington. Now he pulls up, skips left side. Three on the way, too strong from Daneka. Lewis there for the Hawks rebound. Lewis took the ball down low, got himself in trouble, but got bailed out with a foul called on the Highlanders. Crawford picks up his second. Team's fourth. Joe Schmidl was immediately telling Lewis, keep the ball high. I beg your pardon, is that? I think it was only 4 on Huntington. And they were starting to walk the other way to shoot. All right, they got that sorted out. Only 14 fouls on Huntington, so University not in the bonus quite yet. Hornbuckle gets back into the game for the Highlanders. Luke Byer will toss it in, and Jagger Barnes will walk it up the floor. University leading 10-4 as we come up on 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Barnes from in between the rings goes to Lewis. Now to Weaver, who's just checked in. Lewis from the left elbow, back up top of the key. Good ball movement here by the Hawks. Trying to find a place to penetrate. Get it to Jack Byer in the lane. He's hacked, and a foul called on the Highlanders. Now University will be shooting. Ethan Dalton whistle for personal foul number 1. 5th team foul, so that puts Jack Byer at the free throw line. Byer through the routine. His first free throw is off the mark. Byer back at the line. Couple of dribbles. Second free throw. This one's in. Hawks lead by 7, 11-4. And back the other way, got another whistle, and this time Huntington will shoot. Foul's whistled on Jack Byer. His first, and Huntington in the bonus will go to the free throw line. Caprino will go to the free throw line. At 3 points in last night's game, his first free throw is up and good. Caprino's second shot up and in. (11-6). Hawks with a 5-point lead. 45 seconds to go in the first half. Byer, top of the key to Barnes. Barnes finds Lewis on the right elbow. Spinning to his left, offensive foul called. Lewis put a shoulder down. Easy charge. Lewis spinning. Wasn't a big bump, but enough to get the charge. You're going to get that call just about every time. So coming up on a half minute to go, Huntington just trailed this entire first quarter, looking to cut into the deficit. Just 5, and got a whistle all the way out by the midcourt stripe. Kyle Weaver called for his first personal foul, an unnecessary foul that far out. And Jamari Tubbs to the free throw line. Tubbs at the line, makes his first of 2. Second free throw on its way. Off the back of the iron, and University going to get the rebound. Here goes Byer on the run out. Coming down the near side, finds Lewis in the lane. Nice pass over to Byer on the right of the baseline. Foul as Jack Byer goes to the rim. That is the first on Daneka. So back to the free throw line is Jack Byer, where he was 1 for 2 a moment ago. Byer gets the roll on shot number 1. University will substitute, get Adams back into the game, and he'll replace Luke Byer on the floor. Got another sub getting ready if Jack Byer makes this free throw, and he does. 2 for 2 on that trip, 3 for 4 on the day. Evan Toller will now replace Jack Byer. 13-7, Hawks with the lead. 17 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Hornbuckle up across the timeline, hands off to Tubbs. Tubbs moving right. Lost the handle on the dribble, has to pick it back up. 5 seconds on the clock. Now Tubbs with a little more urgency. Tosses to Hornbuckle. Stolen away by Adams. Adams from half court, lets it fly, and he'll come up empty. At the end of the first quarter, it's the Hawks with the advantage. University 13 and Huntington 7. This is the Little General Holiday Classic.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a Little General store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more. But now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results, eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At W Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
Second quarter just about underway. University and Huntington, game 1 of 3 here at the Rowdy Center today. And the Hawks have an early 13-7 edge. Just 2 field goals in the first quarter for Huntington. Isaiah Lapsley and Devontae Crawford. Highlanders have missed some point-blank opportunities. We talked about that in the open. Finishing would be important, and right now Huntington has missed some of those right at the rim shots. University has been able to penetrate, get to the rim. Glenn Brown has a couple. Byer, KK Lewis, and Dimidovic all have points. Dimidovic and Brown are both on the bench. They picked up 2 early fouls, and probably not going to see them again until the second half. University basketball as we start the second quarter. Barnes at the top of the key, gives way to Weaver on the right wing. Back up top of the key, Adams head fake travel. Tried a little stutter move, but had his feet going before he had the basketball on the floor, so give it back to Huntington. Adams, Lewis, Barnes, Toller, and Weaver on the floor for Huntington. Tubbs, Dalton, Daneka, Lapsley and Hornbuckle for the Highlanders. It's Lapsley out on the right wing. And the white uniforms trimmed out in gold and green. Now putting on the floor. Dalton driving right of the lane and out of bounds. Good defense by Lewis to keep the hands high and avoid that temptation of coming straight down. If he does, he's going to get whistled for a foul. Instead, it goes out of bounds. Good defense. Lob it into Hornbuckle out on the right wing. Hornbuckle. Skip pass stolen by Toller. Toller down the near side of the court, going to take it all the way. Right block, up with the right hand. The foul called on Huntington, and Toller going to head to the free throw line. Count the bucket, and the foul whistled on Jamari Tubbs. Tubbs was trying to slide over and draw the charge, but never did get his feet set. Good job by Toller to maintain his control and lay it in. Now Toller with an opportunity to extend the lead. And one, and good. 16-7. Hawks are up by 9. Biggest lead of the day for University, which has led this entire first half. Lapsley in the near front court. Tosses far side, finds Hornbuckle on the right wing. Huntington probing, looking for something to attack. Three from the right wing from Tubbs, too short. Threes are coming up short here in the first half of this ball game. Hawks fired down the floor for Lewis. Lewis nearly threw it away. Barnes and Weaver able to connect. Now Lewis lets a defender fly by, goes up with the right hand and fouled. Foul on Tubbs. That is his second. That'll send KK Lewis to the free throw line. Lewis with a field goal here in the first half. First trip to the stripe today. And the first free throw up and good. Lewis with his second free throw attempt. Swishes them both. He's got 4 points, and he'll get a breather as Jack Beyer checks back in. Hawks lead it by 11, 18-7, 6:45 to play. Lapsley brings it down the floor, throws it away again. Unforced turnovers crushing Huntington here in the first half. .638 first half. Hawks up by 11, trying to add to it. Toller out on the left wing. Working around the perimeter. Adams, deep three, right side, short, just glanced off the iron. Tubbs right there for the Huntington rebound. He'll push it down the floor, take it to the free throw line, kick out, three, Lapsley left side, no good. Offensive rebound by Dalton. Lapsley finds Daneka. They'll angle in, slide through the lane, and throws it away. Another unforced turnover. He was looking for Hornbuckle, but Hornbuckle had already started to cut toward the center of the court. And Lapsley, or Daneka, I beg your pardon, threw it away. 6 minutes to go, first half, 18-7. Hawks with the lead. Adams into the corner for Weaver on the near sideline. University enters it in low to Beyer. Beyer fakes right, goes left. Nice little hook shot. And Jack Beyer lays it in for his 5th point of the game. Hawks by 13, 20-7. 5:30 to play in the first half. Lapsley sliding right. Hands to Tubbs. Tubbs now finds Dalton in between the rings. Hornbuckle on the left wing, fires it into the corner. Daneka, corner three, good. That's the first field goal of the second quarter, and the first field goal in a while for Huntington. 20-10, Hawks still leading it. 5:10 to go first half. Jack Beyer on the left elbow. Fires to Barnes at the top of the key. He'll dribble around to the wing, enter it to Beyer. In the middle of the lane, stepping right, fakes the defender out, steps to the rim, missed short, rebound, swatted down. Ball still loose in the lane. There's a scrum. Held ball will go to Huntington. Beyer was trying to get possession and get the timeout. He was unable to. And the Highlanders will get the possession on the arrow. Caprino into the ball game will replace Jamari Tubbs in the lineup. Hawks will get Luke Byer back in as well. So a bigger lineup now for University with both Jack and Luke Byer in the lineup. Lapsley from the top of the key. Drives into the paint, bounces left corner. Caprino for three, missed everything. Didn't even graze the nylon. Adams comes away with a loose basketball, zips it down the floor. Now Adams on the right wing, up to Weaver, top of the key. Weaver, no look to his right, finds Byer. Byer, little reverse layup off her backboard and in. Luke Byer with the bucket. Hawks lead by 12. 22-10 coming up on the halfway mark of the second quarter. Hornbuckle being defended. University nearly creates the turnover. Now Lapsley fires to the right side. Dalton dribbling off the wing. And got a reach on University. Foul called on Kyle Weaver, his second. First team foul of the second quarter on University. 4:06 to play. Lewis summoned off the bench. He'll replace Weaver. We've got Demidovich, Brown, and Weaver now with 2 fouls. Barnes back into the lineup. He'll replace Toller on the floor for Joe Schmidl. Lapsley will toss it in, right to the baseline, underhands it, all the way out to Dalton on the right wing. Caprino, deep on the far side, being harassed by Barnes. Now he'll switch. Hand off to Daneka. Daneka trying to angle in, jump pass to the near side. Hornbuckle steps to his right, takes the three, knocks it down. First field goal of the game for Tristan Hornbuckle, a 3. And Huntington makes it a 22-13 game. End of the lane. Hawks work it to Byer. Byer dribbles it off his shin. Ball loose. They'll dive on the floor. Arrow will keep it with University. Huntington needed that bucket a moment ago. Hornbuckle able to line up and knock down a 3. Baseline jumper off the left side, good for Luke Byer. Nice play on the inbounds pass. Hawks by 11, 24-13, 3:22 first half. Pull up 3, Hornbuckle again, straight away knocks it down. That's just one-on-one basketball there. University quickly back down the floor. Get it to Byer, goes under the rim, spins it high off the window, no good. And Huntington quickly back to work on offense. Hornbuckle, double teamed. University steals it, takes it away, feed it up the floor to Byer. Underhand over to Barnes. Barnes tries to get back to Byer. Lewis flies in out of nowhere, snatches it out of the air and lays it in. KK Lewis trailing the play as that basketball was deflected 2 and 3 times. Able to come in, grab the deflection, and lay it home for the Hawks. (26-16). Hawks with the lead. Somebody got a bloody nose there for Huntington. Had to check out of the ball game. I believe it was Lapsley. So Braxton Mount into the game for the first time. And one of the players forgot to take off some of his swag prior to entering the game, so had to get that taken care of. Okay, ready to play basketball. 2:45 to go, first half. Hawks leading Huntington by 10. Daneka on the right side, bounce over in the near front court. Here comes the double team. Gets some help from Daneka. He'll take a deep 3 all the way out on the logo. Still too strong. Long rebound comes to Byer. Luke Byer pushes it down the floor. Fires to Barnes. Left side baseline jumper off the inside of the iron. Offensive rebound by the Hawks. Jack Byer fighting for position. Can't get it against Braxton Mount, and Huntington will come away with the basketball. Caprino on the near side foul. KK Lewis got a piece of him, trying to force the issue. And Lewis picks up his second personal, team second. Huntington looking for an inbounds man. Daneka will start play from the near sideline. Bounces it in for Caprino. Artie Caprino. Dribbling with the left hand. Hands off for Hannah. Hannah gives to Dalton. Here goes Dalton. Angles in off the right side. Through two defenders, but a shot blocked from behind by Luke Byer. Byer feeds it up the floor for Adams. Back to Byer. Through the lane. Fouled and will go to the free throw line. Luke Byer making the play on the defensive end. Then he goes the other direction and drives it into the paint. Will head to the free throw line. Artie Caprino called for the personal foul. Third foul on Huntington. And Luke Byer at the free throw line has 6 points here in the first half for University. First free throw up and in. Lapsley back into the ball game for Huntington. University gets Toller back into the game. Second free throw on the way. It's up and just off the mark. Jack Byer trying to get the rebound, steps on the baseline. Gives it back to the Highlanders. 27-16. University back to an 11-point lead. 1:48 to go in half number one. Pass deflected on the far sidelines. Goes out of bounds. Stays with Huntington. Hawks have led this entire first half. Jumped out to a 10-2 lead and has been able to maintain a 8 to 11 point margin throughout much of the second quarter. Daneka on the right wing for the Highlanders. Slides out, brings it in between the circles, gives to Caprino on the near side. Caprino starting right, spins left, out of control, into the lane, able to soft touch it in for two. Nice touch by Caprino to drop that home. 27-18, Hawks with the lead. Get it in to Byer. Middle of the lane. Byer off the window and good. Byer with 9. 29-18, University with the lead. Minute to go in the second quarter. Caprino dribbling on the near wing. Underhands to Dalton out near the top of the key. He'll give it up for Daneka on the right side, and a push foul called on the Hawks. Fouls on Evan Toller. That is just his first and only the third team foul on University. So one more to give before Huntington can get in the bonus. Lapsley tries to enter into the lane, stolen by the Hawks. And double dribble called on University. And Evan Toller knew it immediately. Missed opportunity for the Hawks, leading by 11. Half a minute to go here in the first half of action. University and Huntington. Lapsley on the near wing. He's trapped on the near sideline. Nearly threw it away. Dalton able to fight through. Get it to a wide open Daneka, who lays it in. "17 seconds to play. 9-point University lead on top of Huntington. Byer out on the left wing. Dribbles to the free throw line. Hands to Jack Byer. Kick out. Left corner. Barnes 3. Rims in and out. No good. Lapsley tries to track down the rebound. He'll get tied up with two Hawks. Arrow will still keep the basketball with Huntington, but just 1.9 seconds remain. And we got a technical foul called on Huntington High coach Lambros Svingos. He was not happy that that was a tie-up and not a foul on University. And he gets assessed the technical, and University will get to shoot a couple here before the end of the half. Luke Byer will go to the free throw line, where he is 1 for 2 today. Byer through the routine, and the first one's good. That means Lambros Svingos will be confined to a seat for the rest of the ball game. Second free throw good. Byer makes both of his technical free throws. He's got 11 points here in the first half. And the University lead is back to 11. Want to check the foul situation there. Everybody satisfied with the scorekeeper. And the Hawks will take a 30-second timeout. Make sure everybody's on the same page defensively for the final 1.9 seconds of the first half. 31-20. University leading Huntington. Game 1 of 3 today here at the Rowdy Center. Game 2, Morgantown and Washington. Morgantown defeated Huntington handedly last night. Washington beat University in the first game. Those two teams matching up. 1 o'clock, the scheduled tip-off, and the final game of the day. The Morgantown girls will be in action, taking on Spring Mills. That game set for about a 3 o'clock tip-off this afternoon. Morgantown and Spring Mills girls action. Again, video streaming coverage all day long at WVMetroNewsTV.com and the Metro News TV app. We'll have the Morgantown-Washington game for you as well on WAJR. So 1.9 seconds to go here in the first half. Hawks will line things up defensively. Or offensively, I beg your pardon. They get the ball after the technical free throws. Get it in for Byer. Byer, last second shot deflected, and we head to the locker room. Schmidl wanted a foul and nearly got himself teed up. But he knows where the line is, and he backed off it there. His Hawks played a good first half. University leading Huntington, and Schmidl did get teed up. So as Schmidl walks off the floor, he had a little something to say on his way out the door, and Joe Schmidl is assessed a technical foul as University heads to the locker room. A little bit of everything here in the first half of action. Your score at the break. University 31, Huntington 20. This is the Little General Holiday Classic. Back in a moment.
Have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have. No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a little general store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
We have the skill set internally to take almost any project from a concept all the way through to completion. We don't manufacture widgets. We do things that make a huge impact to society, so we take what we do very, very seriously. There's a great sense of satisfaction and accomplishment that you really contributed to society, really did your part to make where you are from a better place than it was before you came there.
Back in the Rowdy Center, University leading Huntington 31-20 at the break. And just at the end of the half, had a couple of technical fouls. One assessed to Huntington. They got a tie-up down on the baseline. And Lambros Vingos not happy with the technical call, or with the no foul called. There was a tie-up instead of foul. That got him teed up. Then, after the technical free throws, University had an opportunity. No fouls were called where Schmidl thought there should have been a foul on the contact. And walking off the floor, maybe said just a little too much as the official heard it, turned around, teed him up. So Huntington will be shooting technical free throws to begin the second half. 31-20, Huntington leads at University, got out to a 10-2 lead to begin the ball game, and really has been able to maintain that edge throughout the first half of play. Huntington would trim that down to 4 near the end of the second quarter, but University would push the lead back out all the way to 12 points at 22-10, and it's kind of been back and forth since then. Huntington would get a bucket, University gets a bucket. Huntington's trouble has been turnovers here in the first half. Huntington has had several unforced turnovers, just throwing the ball out of bounds, throwing the ball away with players cutting in the wrong direction or players not where they're supposed to be in that set. And that has cost the Highlanders some opportunities here in the first half. Credit University's defense, playing with a lot more tenacity defensively today than yesterday, and that has really worked to the advantage of the Hawks. 31-20, our halftime score. We'll go over some of the individual numbers when we return. This is the Little General Holiday Classic. Back in a moment.
The efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Our big winter sale is on now, so come cozy up to these great deals. Come check out our large selection of GMC Canyons for you to choose from. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world!
We have the skill set internally to take almost any project from a concept all the way through to completion. We don't manufacture widgets. We do things that make a huge impact to society, so we take what we do very, very seriously. There's a great sense of satisfaction and accomplishment that you really contributed to society, really did your part to make where you are from a better place than it was before you came there.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more, but now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At WV Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's Toyotathon! $3,000 off all new Sequoias. So start your new year off with a new Toyota. Merry Christmas from Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
Halftime, University leads Huntington 31-20. First half stats, Luke Byer leads all scorers. He has 11 points to lead University. KK Lewis with 6. Jack Byer has 5. Glenn Brown with 4. Evan Toller with 3 points, and Zach Dimidovich with 2. Dimidovich and Brown had to sit for a significant chunk of the first half. They got into some early foul trouble. Dimidovich, in fact, picked up 2 fouls in the first 90 seconds of the ball game. Over on the Huntington side, not a lot of offense to speak of. Tristan Hornbuckle had 2 threes in the second quarter. He's the leading scorer with 6 points. Pearson Daneka has 5. After that, Artie Caprino with 4, just 1 field goal. Isaiah Lapsley has 2 points. Avante Crawford with 2, and Jamari Tubbs is 1 for 2 at the free throw line. So not a lot of offense for Huntington in the first half. You add all that up, what you get is University leading this game 31-20 at the half. Game 1 of 3 today. Game 2 will feature Morgantown and Washington, and then the third game of the Little General Holiday Classic. Girls action, Morgantown and Spring Mills. Live video streaming coverage of all those games at the Metro News TV app. We'll have the next game, Morgantown and Washington, right here on WAJR before we kick it over to the first round of the college football playoff from ESPN Radio later this afternoon. All right, second half of this game still to come. University leads Huntington 31-20. Second half is next. This is the Little General Holiday Classic.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a Little General store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more, but now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results, eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At W Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
Start of the second half, Huntington is going to be shooting technical free throws as University coach Joe Schmidl got teed up on his way out the door at the end of the first half. So both head coaches going to be resigned to the chair in the second half of this contest. The Hawks up by 11, 31-20. Looking to bounce back from last night's loss to Washington. Huntington trying to bounce back after a loss to Morgantown on the opening night of the Little General Holiday Classic. It'll be Dimidovich, Brown, Adams, Luke Byer, and K.K. Lewis for University to start the third quarter. Again, Dimidovich and Brown both got in early foul trouble and were confined to the bench for much of that first half. Huntington going to be shooting a couple of free throws here just as soon as we get all this sorted out, which I thought everybody knew coming out of the locker room. So Artie Caprino will do the honors. Coach Joe Schmidl got teed up on his way out the door for University, and that's why Caprino's at the free throw line. Makes his first and makes his second. Now we're ready to go. Official telling Schmidl, yep, you got to sit down now, Coach. Everybody's on the bench now. Nobody's allowed to stand up and patrol the sidelines here in the second half of this one. Huntington basketball, we're ready to actually play some ball here. Hornbuckle on the floor for Huntington along with Lapsley, Crawford. This is Hornbuckle, three. Short. Crawford comes in, offensive rebound, put back good. Chandler and Tubbs are the five for Huntington. And just like that, Huntington has crept back into this ball game. Down 7, 31-24. Adams on the near sideline, able to get some help from Dimidovich on the left wing. Byer, top of the key, gives to Brown. Skip it over to Adams on the far side. Adams in between the rings, shoves it off right side to Byer. Luke Byer looking inside, taken away by Huntington. They'll get the turnover. Leading the attack, Lapsley back outside to Hornbuckle. Lapsley left of the key, kicks over to the far corner. Crawford drives baseline to the rim, came up short, got his own rebound. Kick out, Tubbs, three, got it. And just like that, Huntington has roared back to within 4. 31-27. Huntington has scored the first 7 points of the second half here in under 60 seconds. Of course, 2 of those were on the technical free throw. Into the corner, Brown trying to answer corner 3, short. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Lewis, out of bounds, and stays with University. Adams will inbound on the baseline, on the near side, get it to Byer. Byer, baseline jumper, buried it. Byer with 13. Hawks by 6. Tubbs for 3. Got it! Just to the left of the key. Three-point ball game. Demidovich on the baseline, fighting his way to the rim. Splits 2 defenders, lays it in. (35-30). University still maintaining the lead. And off to Lapsley in between the circles. Gets a high screen from Crawford, a bump from Lewis, and a foul. That is the third on KK Lewis. First on University. Tubbs will inbound. Now Tubbs gets it back, takes it to the top of the key, picked up by Lewis, dribbles around Lewis, right-hand floater, misses off the right of the rim, rebound tipped and grabbed by Chandler. Chandler driving to the rim, no good, put back falls. Crawford is there to clean things up. Three-point ball game, 35-32. Brown top of the key, stutter step, takes it down the right of the paint to the rim, no good, got his own rebound. Has to kick it back outside for Adams, and University will reset. Right side, Byer 3, line drive, rolls off the iron. And a rebound by Huntington. Hornbuckle pushes it down the floor. Crawford tried to alley-oop to Chandler. He had to bring it back down, but still able to lay it in. And University going to take a timeout as Huntington has erased an 11-point deficit and made it a 1-point ball game. 35-34. University with the lead. We're back in 60 seconds right after this.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more. But now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results, eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At W Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
We have the skill set internally to take almost any project from a concept all the way through to completion. We don't manufacture widgets. We do things that make a huge impact to society, so we take what we do very, very seriously. There's a great sense of satisfaction and accomplishment that you really contributed to society, really did your part to make where you are from a better place than it was before you came there.
Huntington on a 13-4 run has erased an 11-point deficit. Byer from the left elbow misses the 15-footer. And Huntington has an opportunity to take the lead on this possession. Fired in low for Daneka on the baseline. Couldn't handle the pass. Tied up with Byer. Held ball, arrow pointing toward the Highlanders. Hornbuckle will toss it in. Huntington has never led in this game. University got out to a 10-2 lead. But the Highlanders have stormed back, outscoring University 13-4 to begin the third quarter. Huntington gets it in. Now Lapsley in between the rings. He'll move left. Out on the wing. Kick it over to Crawford. Lines up the 3. Buries it. And Huntington has its first lead of the game. 36-35. 37-35. University now trailing for the first time as we come up on 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Hawks working around, lob it to Lewis, too high. Crawford comes away with the basketball. Feed it on up the floor to Chandler. Chandler coming off the left side. Misses the layup. There's Lewis for the rebound. Now University out on the run. Demidovich coming off the right wing. Takes it all the way down the baseline. Cut off, kick out. Adams deep three. Left it short. And a rebound grab by Lapsley. Lapsley gets hit in the backcourt. That's going to be on, I believe, Brown. I beg your pardon, K.K. Lewis called for the foul, and he picked up his fourth. So Lewis to the bench. Barnes back in the game. Huntington by 2, 37-35. Lapsley, right of the key. Lobs it into the lane for Crawford. He volleyballs it back outside. Chandler for a three. Rims in and out. Brown goes up over top of everybody to get the rebound. He'll lob it up the floor. Finds Byer. Byer coming off the right side. Kisses it off the glass for two. Luke Byer has 15. We're tied at 37. Enter it in for Crawford. Byer gets a hand on it and comes up with the steal. Now Brown. Back the other way for the Hawks. Going down the right of the lane. Draws contact with Chandler. And Chandler picks up his third personal. First on Huntington. And that puts Brown at the free throw line. Brown had a couple of early field goals, but again, foul trouble limited his minutes in the first half. Misses his first free throw. Tubbs back into the game. Replaces Tavian Chandler. Second free throw, missed them both. But an offensive rebound by Demidovich. So the Hawks get another opportunity here with 3 minutes to go in the third. Demidovich from the right elbow. Backs his way down the right of the lane. Forces his way to the rim. Count the bucket. And call the foul on the Highlanders. Foul on Avante Crawford, his third. Second team foul. And Demidovich to the free throw line for an and one opportunity. Demidovich lines it up, knocks it down. He has 8 points. And University back in front by 3, 40-37. Hornbuckle angles in off the right, throws it in the air, and it drops through. Left corner, three. Adams lets it fly, rims in and out, no good. Danaka gets the rebound for Huntington. He'll fire it up the floor. Tubbs under a defender, spins it off the glass and good. And Jamari Tubbs goes to the line for an and one. Foul on Adams, his second. And the third team foul on the Hawks. So Tubbs at the line for the three-point play. Weaver back into the game. He'll replace Adams in the University lineup. And one opportunity off the front of the rim, no good. So 41-40, the score remains. Huntington leading University here in the third after a 13-4 spurt to begin the second half. Weaver gets an open look at a three from the left wing, clanks it off the side of the rim, and Huntington on the run. Chandler leading the attack, going down the right of the lane. Chandler to the rim, lays it in. 43-40. Hawks now trailing. Brown in between the rings. Hawks surveying this Huntington zone defense. Enter it for Demidovich on the left block. Demidovich doubled, fights his way to the rim anyway, and called for a travel. Minute and 53 and 52 and 51 left in the third quarter. Highlanders by 3. A little pressure this time by University. Get it to Crawford in the paint. And a foul whistled on Glenn Brown. That is his third. Team foul, number 4 on University. Minute 43 to go here in the quarter. Looking to get it in. Lapsley gets it into Crawford, cutting to the rim, who lays it home. Crawford down double figures with 11. Huntington has its biggest lead of the game, 5 points, 45-40. Over to Barnes. Barnes feeds Dimidovic on the block. Ripped from his hands, but stolen away. University. Barnes, wide open jumper, no good. Brown collects the garbage and lays it in. Huntington trying to quickly answer. Tubbs from 14 floats it in and out of the rim, no good. 45-42. Brown contested 3. Line drive off the right of the iron. A rebound by Huntington. Lapsley on the run. Bounces down to Chandler on the left side of the baseline. Whip it back top of the key and on over to Chandler. Contested 3. Left wing. Got it. Chandler hits the 3. 48-42. Huntington with a 6-point lead. 15-foot jumper from Byer. Nowhere close. He follows a shot and lays it in. Luke Byer has 17. 48-44. Huntington has the lead. Daneka wide open, near corner 3. No doubts. Daneka with a 3 gives Huntington a 7-point lead. 51-44. Under 20 seconds to go here in the third. Weaver over to Barnes. Barnes trying to answer, and he does. Jagger Barnes hits the 3. 51-47. 5 seconds to play. Tubbs fires the shot early, banks it off the front of the rim, and no good. And we go to the fourth quarter. Well, the offense has come to life. Huntington erases an 11-point halftime deficit and now leads the ball game 51-47. This is the Little General Holiday Classic. We're back in a moment.
Our big winter sale is on now, so come cozy up to these great deals. Come check out our large selection of GMC Canyons for you to choose from. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world!
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a little general store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's Toyotathon! $3,000 off all new Sequoias. So start your new year off with a new Toyota. Merry Christmas from Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
Huntington High leading University 51-47 as we get ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Hawks had a 31-20 lead at the half. Huntington came out, shot a couple of technical free throws, made those, scored the first 7 points of the second half, cut the deficit down to 4 points, and eventually would take the lead coming out of a timeout. A 13-4 run for Huntington erased that 11-point deficit. And now the Highlanders lead it 51-47 as we begin the third quarter. 4 threes there in the third by Huntington. 2 from Tubbs, 1 from Crawford, and 1 from Daneka. Hawks basketball as we start the fourth quarter. Weaver feeds it to Byer. Byer misses the 14-foot jumper. University able to tip the rebound back outside. Over to Barnes in the far corner. Now Barnes slides out into the front court. Give to Brown on the right wing. Brown circles the basketball over his head, working around the outside all the way into the near corner for Luke Byer. Byer, one dribble, skip pass right side quickly into the corner for Barnes, but he's covered up, can't get the shot. Huntington in a 2-3 zone. Head fake by Barnes. And again, University cannot find some place to penetrate this zone defense. Barnes takes 1 step left, pulls up straight away, no good. Rebound deflected outside. Huntington feeds it down the floor. Hornbuckle for the layup, no. Dimidovic there to grab the rebound for University. Hawks quickly back the other direction. Stepping through 2 defenders. Brown lost the handle. Huntington comes away with the turnover. Feed it up the floor to Hornbuckle. He'll step back, trigger the 3, Misses off the left, and an easy rebound for Byer. Oh, frenetic opening minute to this fourth quarter. Hawks trailing. Coming off the right side, into the paint, kick out Brown, left wing, open look at a three. Too strong off the inside of the rim. Daneka snares the rebound for Huntington. Highlanders quickly back down the floor. Crawford in the near corner. He fires it out to midcourt. Hornbuckle will reset the offense. He hands to Lapsley. Lapsley can't get the screen from Crawford. Puts it on the floor, left hand, kick outside to Necka. Catch and shoot three, rims in and out, no good. Rebound tipped and grabbed by Brown. Here goes Brown on the run. Brown swatted away from behind, got it back, lays it in. Brown nearly lost it. He got it back. Able to complete the layup. 51-49. Daneka, other end, three, good. I beg your pardon, that was Chandler. Chandler on the inside. 53-49. Byer, left elbow, turnaround jumper, got it. Luke Byer has 19. 53-51. Huntington with the lead. Deep three again. Chandler knocks it down. And Huntington will take a full timeout with 5:27 to go. Huntington 56, University 51. We're back to the Rowdy Center right after this.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more. But now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results, eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At W Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
We have the skill set internally to take almost any project from a concept all the way through to completion. We don't manufacture widgets. We do things that make a huge impact to society, so we take what we do very, very seriously. There's a great sense of satisfaction and accomplishment that you really contributed to society, really did your part to make where you are from a better place than it was before you came there.
(56-51), Huntington with the lead after the Chandler three. Huntington has heated up here in the second half, especially from outside. 6 threes here in the second half for Huntington, and that has made a big difference, erasing that deficit and taking the lead now by 5, 56-51. Still a ways to go, 5:27 to play here in the fourth. Brown up across the timeline, skips it over to Lewis, who's got those 4 fouls. 3 from the left side. Barnes nowhere close. Out of bounds, though, off of Huntington. Brown will be the trigger man for University. On the right of the baseline. Lobs it out in the front court for Barnes. Huntington stays in that 2-3 zone. Bounce it over to Brown in the corner. Head fake. Sends it up top of the key. Back to Brown. Gets an open look. 3 from the right wing. Swish. Brown in double figures with 11. 56-54. Daneka, right wing, fires the 3 off the front of the rim, no good. University with the rebound, on up to Brown. Brown to the rim, out in front of everybody, lays it in to tie the game at 56. Glenn Brown with 13. We're tied 56 apiece, 4:41 to play. Hornbuckle in the near front court, working on Lewis. Dribbles it off his foot into the back court. Picked up by Huntington, and University will get the basketball back. 4.5 to go. Tied at 56. Hornbuckle. Had to dribble that off of Lewis's foot. Nonetheless, University with the basketball. Trying to retake the lead here in the fourth quarter. Huntington stays in that zone defense. Byer, top of the key, tries to enter. Chandler steps in the way. He gets the steal and the dunk. Chandler has 12, and Huntington retakes the lead, 58-56. Barnes on the near side. Dribbles and shuffles in between the rings. Another turnover, another steal for Huntington. Tubbs out in front of everybody. He'll get fouled from behind and go to the free throw line. Lackadaisical passing and aggressive defense. Chandler knew that pass was coming inside a moment ago. Stepped in front of it. Gets the big dunk, and then Tubbs anticipating the pass. Able to get the turnover, and he goes to the free throw line. Tubbs is 0 for 1 today. At the line, and his first free throw rattles in. Hawks will get Chase Adams back in. He's been limited with foul trouble. Jack Byer will check out. Tubbs back at the line. He's in double figures now. 3 Highlanders in double figures. Misses his second free throw. So 59-56. Hawks down 3 with the basketball. Brown kicks over to the right side for Barnes, out on the right wing. Barnes skip pass to Adams, just the left of the key. Adams, open look, left wing, 3 on the way, off the front of the rim, no good. Crawford grabs the rebound, outlet pass tipped and deflected, stolen by the Hawks. Get it to Brown in the corner, head fake, back to Adams, whips it down to Lewis. Lewis slays it in. And got a player down. Jamari Tubbs went down hard. He's back up. Got a little bit of a limp there, but Lewis, good vision. Adams with the assist. Lewis has 8 points, and they've got a 59-58 ball game. So Lapsley will bring it up the floor. Huntington leading by 1, 3:14 to play. Game 1 of 3 today here at the Rowdy Center. Chandler over here on the near sideline, working on Lewis. Nearly lost the dribble, able to maintain it. Hands to Tubbs. Tubbs pull up from 17, no good. And he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2, and I think that's number 5 on KK Lewis. Second team foul on University. So Lewis is done for the day, and he'll finish with 8 points. Demidovich back in for the Hawks. Weaver at the free throw line, or I beg your pardon, Tubbs at the free throw line. He's got 10 points today, make it 11. Ten of his 11 coming here in the second half, including a couple of threes. Second free throw, missed that one. 1 for 2 again. Byer snags the rebound, 60-58. Adams has it poked away from behind. Another turnover for the Highlanders. Driving to the rim, laying it in, Isaiah Lapsley. His first field goal since early in the ball game. Demidovich coming off the right side of the baseline by a defender and an easy layup. Demidovich into double figures with 11. 3 Hawks now in double figures. 62-60. 2.5 minutes to play. Players collide underneath. Kick outside. Crawford 3, no good. Chandler offensive rebound. Fighting through defenders. We'll go to the free throw line. Foul is whistled on Luke Byer. That's his first. Third team foul. And at the line is Tavian Chandler. He has 12 points today, including a couple of threes. Chandler spins it, sends it, sinks it. Weaver back into the game for University. Adams will head to the bench. To make it a 2-possession ball game. Free throw no good. 63-60. Huntington with the lead, 2:18 to play. Brown in between the rings. Sliding right, now spins to his right to the rim, off the glass and good. Brown has 15. 1 point Huntington lead, and the Highlanders will take a timeout with 2:04 to go. Glenn Brown, soft touch, gets the layup to fall. 2:04 to play, 1 point game, back to the Rowdy Center right after this.
The efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We have the skill set internally to take almost any project from a concept all the way through to completion. We don't manufacture widgets. We do things that make a huge impact to society, so we take what we do very, very seriously. There's a great sense of satisfaction and accomplishment that you really contributed to society, really did your part to make where you are from a better place than it was before you came there.
Two minutes, 4 seconds to play. Huntington has a 1 point lead, 63-62 on top of University. Both offenses kind of struggled in the first half, but in the second half, they've got things cranked up. Glenn Brown has 15 for University. Luke Byer leads the way with 19 points. Zach Dimidovich with 11. For Huntington, 3 players in double figures. Tavion Chandler has 12. Jamari Tubbs has 11. And Avante Crawford has 11. It's Chandler from the right elbow. Fadeaway jumper, banks it in. Chandler has 13 at 65-62, 3-point. Huntington lead. Now Chandler gets a steal. Chandler streaking down the far side of the court. Going to be fouled on the floor by Byer. Just a second on Luke Byer. Well, that is the team's fourth here in the fourth quarter. 0 team fouls on Huntington here in the fourth quarter. The University about to put the Highlanders in the bonus on the next foul. Tubbs gets the inbounds pass, drives on the baseline, floats it with the right hand, no good. There's Byer on the rebound. He'll get it up to Brown. Brown going to take it coast to coast. Finger roll, no good. But Brown will head to the free throw line, and there's a foul on Huntington. Daneka picks up the foul. Second personal foul on Daneka. First team foul. Brown at the line. Soft touch. Makes his first of 2 free throws. Brown can make it a 1 point game. Lines it up and gets the roll. 17 for Glenn Brown, 65-64. University trailing Huntington here. Under a minute and a half to go. Chandler dribbles by Dimidovich across the free throw line. Nice pass down to Crawford, who lays it in. Crawford with 15, 3-point lead. Byer out on the left wing. They'll send it around to Weaver. Little head fake. Weaver angles in, back outside. Byer straight away to tie, and he does. Luke Byer, 22 points today. Ties it at 67 with 1 minute and 5 to play. Good ball movement to get Byer an open look straight away. Buries the 3, and we've got a tie ball game with 1 minute and 5 seconds to play. University and Huntington. Game 2 scheduled to tip off here in just a bit. It'll be Morgantown and Washington. Morgantown got the big win over Huntington last night. And we'll look to make it 2 wins in 2 days as it takes on Washington this afternoon. That'll be followed by Morgantown girls versus Spring Mills. We'll have video streaming coverage all day long on the Metro News TV app, WVMetroNewsTV.com. And we'll have the Morgantown-Washington game for you on WAJR as well before we turn things over to ESPN Radio and the first round of the college football playoff later this afternoon. Right now, we've got a pretty good one here. Huntington trailed University by 11 at halftime, 31-20. Went on a 13-4 run to begin the third quarter and erased that deficit. Took its first lead in the third quarter. And it's been back and forth. University tying it on the Luke Byer 3. He's got 22 to lead the Hawks today. Glenn Brown has 17. Dimidovic in double figures with 11 points. Huntington basketball, 65 seconds to play. Game tied at 67. Lapsley gets it across the timeline. He'll skip it on the far side of the court for Chandler. Chandler starts the drive, backs out, gives to Tubbs. We're under a minute to go. Tubbs sliding right. Huntington in no hurry. Tubbs starts to drive. Now will curl around Byer. Takes it in the lane. Kicks it outside. Brown gets a hand on it, but steps on the baseline. And it will stay with Huntington. .2 seconds left on the clock. Game tied at 67. Tubbs lobs it out into the front court. Passes tipped around. Huntington able to gather it in the back court. Now Chandler dribbling on the midcourt logo. 25 and counting. Tied at 67. Chandler attacking down the lane. Back out to Tubbs. Tubbs, middle of the lane, floats it with a right hand. No good. Rebound tipped 2 and 3 times. It goes out of bounds. Who's it go to? Huntington with 13.6 seconds remaining. And a timeout called by the Highlanders. And now you're drawing up your final shot of the at least regulation here. Huntington wanted to bleed some clock. University did a good job of not allowing the Highlanders to set up any sort of decent look there. And now Huntington head coach Lambros Spingos drawing up the final shot. And University drawing up the defense they hope sends this into overtime. Or better yet, creates a turnover and you go down the other end, get the bucket and go home. 13.6 seconds remaining. Game 1 of 3 here at the Little General Holiday Classic, and this one has been a good one. University led by 11 at the half. Huntington stormed back in the third, and we've got a tie ball game. Luke Byer tied it on a straightaway 3 at 67. Huntington will have the basketball and 13.6 seconds to work with coming out of the timeout. Hornbuckle, Chandler, Crawford, Lapsley, and Tubbs on the floor for Huntington. University better get back on defense here. Luke Byer. They got Toller into the game. Barnes, Weaver, and Brown here for this final defensive set. Lapsley will inbound on the near sideline. Gets it in for Hornbuckle in the front court. 11 seconds on the clock. Lapsley out on the perimeter. 5 seconds to play. Chandler attacking down the lane, slipped down, and a whistle and a travel will give it to University with 1.9 seconds remaining. Chandler attacking off the left side. Just slipped down. And that's a traveling violation and a turnover. And now University wants to use a timeout to try to draw something up with 1.9 seconds remaining in regulation. So the Hawks get the defensive stop it needed. And now University with 1.9 seconds remaining. You can get it to about mid-court. Catch and shoot here. You've got the time. The Hawks strategizing. Huntington doing the same. You can see Lambros Svingos right now. Get your hands up. Get your hands up in the air. Do not give them a good look from anywhere. Morgantown and Washington coming up in game 2. About 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one, which could be a little ways away yet. Tied at 67. Luke Byer with the straightaway 3 to tie this game. Hawks trying to come up with something here to win this in regulation. But time is a factor. Weaver, Byer, Toller, Brown, and Barnes on the floor for University. Weaver will trigger all the way back on the baseline. Got a long way to go. Weaver looking, gets it into Barnes. Barnes will heave it from three-quarter court. He hits the ductwork in the ceiling, and we've got overtime coming. Game tied at 67 at the end of regulation. We don't have anything settled quite yet. We'll step away for 60 seconds. Overtime coming up when we return. This is the Little General Holiday Classic. Back after this.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a Little General store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
Historically, joint replacement surgery required an extended hospital stay of 3 to 5 days or more. But now with our improved techniques, it can be done as a same-day surgery. You get home sooner, you're more comfortable at home. I got into medicine to help people. Then with joint replacement surgery, I can see immediate results, eliminating a patient's joint pain and really changing their life. At W Medicine, we're able to get people back to living their lives.
4 quarters, not enough to settle this one, so we go to overtime. University and Huntington tied at 67. Huntington had the ball for most of the final minute of the game. University just never gave the Highlanders a good opportunity. University had a chance with 1.9 seconds remaining, but the half-court or three-quarter court shot wasn't anywhere close. So we've got 4 minutes in the overtime period. Demidovich on the floor along with Byer, Weaver, Barnes, and Brown for University. It'll be Hawks in the black jerseys trimmed out in red. Huntington will send out Chandler, Hornbuckle, Crawford, Tubbs, and Lapsley. The big men will go to midcourt. It'll be Chandler and Byer for the jump ball to begin overtime. Ball in the air, tipped and controlled by Huntington. I think Tubbs, I got stepped on there. Came up a little bit gimpy, but he looks fine now. Lapsley holds up 4 fingers with his left hand to call out the offense. Dribbling here in the near front court. Flips it over to Tubbs on the far side. Now Tubbs on the left wing, working on Demidovich. Drives into the lane, floats it with the right hand, left it short. Rebound tipped out, and Huntington will grab it. Another second chance opportunity for Huntington. Chandler, top of the key, drives down the middle of the lane. Left-hander no good, but fouled. Foul is on Luke Byer, his third. And that is the 5th on University. So Huntington now into the bonus. Just one team foul on Huntington. At the free throw line, shooting is Chandler, and his first shot is up and good. Chandler with 14. second free throw. Got it. Chandler has 15, and the Highlanders lead it 69-67 in overtime. Hawks working it around the perimeter. Huntington in that zone defense as it's been in most of the day. Over to Brown on the right wing. They kick it around. Barnes, head fake. They get it to the foul line. Now over to Brown. Brown penetrates through a couple of defenders. Contact, no call, but lays it in. Glenn Brown maintains his focus. He's got 19 points. We're tied once again at 69 apiece. Hornbuckle on the near sideline. They feed it to Chandler. On the left block, Chandler. Covered up by Byer, sends it back outside. Now Crawford angling in off the left side. Bounce it back out for Chandler. Head fake, takes the three, buries it. Chandler with the three has 18. And it's 72-69 in favor of Huntington. Barnes on the left wing. Enter it to Demidovich. Back out top of the key. Whip it around. Brown to answer. Right wing. Got it! Glenn Brown with 22 points. 72 all with 2:09 to play in overtime. Lapsley, far side of the court for the Highlanders. Dribbles up, gets a screen from Crawford. Bounces to Tubbs on the right wing. Now Tubbs working on Brown. Spins to his right. Underhand pass to Crawford, who lays it in off the left block. Devontae Crawford has 17, 15 here in the second half. 74-72, Huntington with the lead. 1:40 to play in overtime. Brown working left side, bounce to Demidovich, get it to Byer, middle lane, turnaround jumper, good, ties it again. Byer with 24. 74 all, 1 minute, 25 seconds to play in the first overtime. Chandler dribbling, way out on the far sideline, takes it to the left elbow, kick out for Hornbuckle. Feed it to Tubbs. Tubbs starts a baseline drive, cut off by Demidovich, and he kicks it back out for Hornbuckle. Coming up on 1 minute remaining in overtime. Game tied, 74 all. Sliding to the right side is Hornbuckle, now under a minute to play. Hornbuckle bounces right side over to Tubbs, now back to Hornbuckle. Tubbs on the left wing. Just playing pitch and catch, stalling for time right at the moment. Lapsley on the right wing, whips it back in between the circles. Seconds ticking off the clock, down to a half minute to go. Hornbuckle and Tubbs just playing pitch and catch. 28 seconds and a timeout called and granted to Huntington. 26.6 seconds remain in the first overtime. We're tied at 74 apiece. Each team just exchanging baskets back and forth. Full timeout. We'll just keep it right here. Game 2 coming up at some point. Morgantown and Washington. Those two teams won last night, their respective games. They'll match up today in Game 2 of our tripleheader in the Little General Holiday Classic. Game 3 will be Morgantown Girls versus Spring Mills. We'll have video streaming coverage of all the games today at WBMetroNewsTV.com and the Metro News TV app. Game 2 will be here on WAJR as well. When we get there, that could still be a while. 26.6 seconds remain and a tie ball game here in the first overtime period. University led by 11 at the half. Huntington used a 13-4 run to get back in this game, and it's been nip and tuck ever since. Hawks have had a couple of big shots, none bigger than Luke Byers' three late in the fourth quarter that tied the game and forced this overtime period. Glenn Brown has a couple of threes. He has 22 points today. Byer with 24. Huntington basketball, 26.6 seconds remaining. Demidovich, Byer, Luke Byer, Weaver, Brown, and Barnes for University. Tubbs, Crawford, Chandler, Hornbuckle, and Lapsley out of the timeout for Huntington. Hornbuckle will toss it in on the far sideline. Lobs it in, gets it into Lapsley. Lapsley will go to work at midcourt. 20 seconds and counting. Down to 19. Chandler from the right wing drives it in the lane. Dishes over to Crawford. Fights back to Chandler. Ball's loose. He's able to pick it up. And traveling called as Lapsley was trying to set up a shot. University basketball with 9.5 seconds still to play in overtime, and the Hawks will take a 30-second timeout. Huntington has fouls to give. Remember, just one team foul called on the Highlanders. 9.5 seconds remaining. Great defense by University. Huntington tried to get Chandler down in the lane. Lapsley just did not put the ball on the floor quick enough as he was sliding to his right to try to set up his shot. Tied at 74. 9.5 seconds remaining. What does Joe Schmidl have to draw up now? Hawks basketball, 9.5 seconds. You got an opportunity here. Brown, Barnes, Weaver, Byer, and Dimidovic. So University will toss it in from the near sideline from about 3/4 court. Bounce it in. Brown gets it. Clock starts. 8 seconds to play. Brown across the timeline at the top of the key, spinning to his right. It's stolen by Tubbs. Tubbs on the breakaway. 2-1 layup. No good. And we are going to a second overtime. The officials immediately wave off the putback. And we are going to a second overtime. Tubbs got the steal, but he could not finish the game-winning layup. Goes up with the right hand and missed it. Had Lapsley trailing, but Lapsley couldn't get the tip in before the buzzer, so we will play another overtime. 74-74, Huntington and University deadlocked. We'll be back in 60 seconds right after this. Well, if he could have made a layup there. Oh, I wouldn't have missed it. They got the call right, by the way. He didn't get the tip in. All right, let's play another 4 minutes. Why not? I'm hungry, Ethan. I mean, it's not like I'm going to waste away or anything. I'm just, I'm hungry. Well, regulation, not enough time to settle this one. Overtime, not enough, so we'll go to another overtime. University and Huntington tied at 74. If you're going to drive all the way up from Huntington, you might as well get your money's worth, I guess, if you're Huntington. It's about a 3-hour drive. Maybe 3.5 in a bus. So Byer and Crawford at midcourt. Huntington will control the tip-off for second overtime. Tied at 74. See if we can settle this in another 4 minutes. Deneka on the right wing. Takes it to the foul line, kicks back outside. Huntington works it into the far corner for Crawford. Baseline drive, cut off. Gives up the dribble, now spins under a defender. Misses from 3 feet. Able to get the rebound, kick out. Deneka, 3, no good. And University grabs the rebound. Opportunity for the Hawks to take the lead. Brown sets up in between the circles. Over into the right corner. Now feed Dimidovic at about 8 feet. Dimidovic backs his way to the rim. Up with the right hand, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled by Huntington. Good look straight away. 3, no doubt about it. Isaiah Lapsley, nobody back on defense for the Hawks. Lapsley buries the 3. Hawks now down 3, 77-74. On the left side, Barnes bounced to Demidovich on the left wing. Now Brown in the corner. Dribbles it up in between the rings, fires to Weaver. Weaver takes it to the foul line. Now Byer outside on the perimeter, drives into the paint, up with the right hand, no good. Rebound loose, pulled in by Demidovich. Demidovich fouled, will go to the line. Foul is on Avante Crawford, his fourth. That'll put Demidovich at the free throw line. 1 for 1 today. He'll shoot 2 here. And his first free throw up and good. Daneka out. Hornbuckle back in after a quick breather. Demidovich, second free throw. Hits them both. 1-point game. 77-76. Huntington leads University in the second overtime. Working on the left side. Lapsley slides right. Goes through a couple of defenders. Pulls up from 8 feet. No good. Offensive rebound. Crawford. Crawford stick back. Won't go. Rebound tipped. And another opportunity for Huntington. University's got to grab those rebounds if it wants to pull off the comeback here in overtime. Now Huntington will slow the pace. Crawford just standing out near midcourt. Starts the drive, kick out to Tubbs. He'll circle into the lane, throws it up with the right hand. Fouled, will go to the line. Foul's whistled on Jagger Barnes. Shooting 2 is Jamari Tubbs. Tubbs 2 for 4 at the line today, 11 points in the ball game. First free throw misses. Second free throw coming for Tubbs. Lines it up, makes this one. 78-76, under 2 minutes to play in the second overtime. Huntington leads University. Coming near side, Weaver on the sideline. Working on the wing, takes it in, floats it with the right hand, no good. Rebound tipped, deflected 3 times. Barnes comes up with it. He hands it to Brown. Whip it inside Demidovich. Demidovich in the lane, lays it in, ties the game at 78. And a timeout taken by University. Demidovich, 14 points. Ties this game at 78 with 1:36 to play in our second overtime. Game 2 at some point today, maybe. Morgantown and Washington coming up, followed by Morgantown girls versus Spring Mills. Good look to get Demidovich. She had position. Not much resistance from Avante Crawford. He's got 4 fouls, and there wasn't a whole lot he could do in that moment. And Demidovich knew it. So what has happened at the end of regulation and the end of the first overtime? Huntington, number 1, wants to burn as much clock as possible and try to set up either a final shot or pretty near close to it. University here, you got to be thinking, 1, try to create a turnover, and 2, you've got to get a rebound. Huntington has had not just second chance, but third and fourth chance opportunities here in these overtime periods. Second overtime, Huntington and University tied at 78. 1:36 to go in the second overtime. Same lineup for the Hawks. Weaver, Barnes, Brown, Byer, and Toller is checked into the game. 90 seconds to play in the second overtime, tied at 78. Chandler out of the top of the key. He's been a factor in today's ball game. Takes it all the way to the baseline, and a shove called on the Hawks. That'll put Huntington at the line to shoot. That is the third on Brown. So Chandler to the free throw line. Chandler has 18 today, including a three-pointer. And his first of 2 free throws up and good. They'll get Demidovich back in the ball game and replace Toller on the floor. Second shot from Chandler. On its way and gets the bounce to fall through. 2-point Huntington lead, 80-78. Chandler now with 20 points on the day. 1:20 to play, second overtime. University trailing by 2. Fire out of the top of the key, feeds it into Demidovich. Demidovich lays it in to tie it at 80. Demidovich with 16. They can't stop him down on the inside right now. Crawford's got 4 fouls. 1 minute to play in the second overtime, tied 80 apiece. Lapsley just dribbling deep on the perimeter. No 5 count yet. 45 seconds and counting. They work it into Crawford. Crawford whips it over. Hornbuckle, right side, 3, rattles in and out, no good. University on the rebound. 38 seconds to go in overtime, and a timeout called by the Hawks. Hornbuckle got a look at a 3 in the corner and couldn't get it to go down. It was a third of the way in the cylinder when it rattled out. And now the Hawks have an opportunity to draw up what could be a game-winning play. Zach Demidovich has been a factor here in overtime. Able to get a couple of shots in the lane. And Avante Crawford, who's drawn the assignment to defend him, really has to play that tentatively with 4 fouls. You just can't be aggressive and foul out. What does Joe Schmidl and his staff have up their sleeves here? 37 seconds exactly remain in the second overtime. University and Huntington tied at 80. Huntington once trailed this game by 11. That was all the way back at halftime. Stormed back in the third quarter to take the lead. Late in the fourth, big 3-pointer from Luke Byer tied the game, forced overtime. And here we are in the second overtime with nothing decided. Huntington 80, University 80. 37 seconds remaining in overtime number 2. Morgantown and Washington itching to get out on the floor. Demidovich, Weaver, Brown, Barnes, Byer. The 5 for the Hawks coming out of the timeout. Weaver will inbound on the near sideline. He's got Hornbuckle in front of his face, and he lobs it into the backcourt for Brown. Clock starts. Half a minute to go. Brown on the near wing. Dribbles it up the top of the key. Gives to Weaver on the right wing. 23 and 22 and 21 on the clock. Barnes out in between the circles. 18 on the clock. Finds Brown. Brown will dribble it to the near side. 13 and 12 and 11. Brown still way out in the front court. Now spins to his right. Attacks the basket. Brown to the rim. Lays it in. And the foul with 5.9 seconds remaining. Glenn Brown saw the lane. He took it and can make it a 3-point game at the free throw line. Brown with a spin move. Got Lapsley off balance. The foul is on Hornbuckle, his first. Glenn Brown, 24 points. Trying to make one more here and make it a 3-point game. Brown lines it up, and he got it. 25 on the day. 83-80. Huntington gets it in, calls timeout. 4.6 seconds remaining in the second overtime, and University now leads the ball game 83-80. Glenn Brown, 25 points today for the Hawks. Luke Byer, 24. Demidovich with 16. And what does Lambros Svingos have up his sleeve over on the far sideline? Huntington will inbound on the near sideline at about three-quarter court. And needs a 3 to tie. That's how big that free throw was. That took a game-winning shot off the table. Huntington would need a 3 to send this into a third overtime. .6 seconds remaining in what has been a whale of a battle here today to start off our first of 3 ball games. University looking for a little early statement win as well. 4.6 seconds left on the clock in the second overtime. University 83, Huntington 80. University out of timeouts. Huntington has 1. Hornbuckle, Daneka, who's a shooter, Crawford, Lapsley, and Chandler into the ball game for the Highlanders. Weaver, Toller, Brown, Barnes, and Byer defensively for University. 4.6 seconds remaining. Crawford bounces it in for Lapsley. Lapsley across the timeline, fouled. Nope, check that. Timeout called by Huntington with 2.5 seconds remaining. So Huntington got it across the timeline, got the timeout. Final timeout used by Huntington with 2.5 seconds remaining. Well, got to get it in. It's catch and shoot time here. Who do you set up? You've got shooters. Daneka has a couple of threes today. Tubbs has a couple of threes here in the second half. Chandler has 3 threes, all coming in the second half. He's the leading scorer for Huntington today with 20 points. Where do you go? Daneka will inbound on the far sideline. Hornbuckle, Lapsley, Chandler, and Crawford. Same lineup for University as a moment ago. Brown will guard Daneka on the far sideline on the inbound. Gets it into Lapsley back at half court. They kick it in the corner for Daneka. 3 on the way, no good. And University comes back to defeat Huntington 83-80 in double overtime. The drive by Glenn Brown, the difference in this ball game. University 83, Huntington 80 in double overtime. Back to recap it in a moment. This is the Little General Holiday Classic. 2 minutes, please.
Have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have. No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
They're not the biggest, but with over 100 locations across West Virginia, chances are there's a little general store near you. With brand name gas and food you know and trust, and an assortment of snacks and comforts that make you feel at home wherever you are. So as you make your way to family dinners and football games around the fire, wherever your destination, we'll get you home for the holidays.
We have the skill set internally to take almost any project from a concept all the way through to completion. We don't manufacture widgets. We do things that make a huge impact to society, so we take what we do very, very seriously. There's a great sense of satisfaction and accomplishment that you really contributed to society, really did your part to make where you are from a better place than it was before you came there.
'83-80 the final. University defeats Huntington in double overtime. Glenn Brown leading the way for University. Gets the drive and the layup that would give the Hawks the win, and then Huntington, with just a couple of seconds left, couldn't get the shot off. As the final couple of tenths clicked off the clock, Daneka couldn't get the three, never really got a good look at it anyway. And University guts out a nice win today, 83-80 the final. Brown leads all scorers. He finished with 25 points today for the Hawks. Luke Byer not far behind with 24, and Dimidovic with 16. Almost all of those points coming in the second half for most of those guys. Brown scores 21 in the second half. Dimidovic had 14 in the second half, and University gets the 83-80 win. For Huntington, Tavion Chandler finishes with 20 points to lead the Highlanders. Avante Crawford had 17, and Jamari Tubbs with 12. Daneka, Hornbuckle each have 8 points. Lapsley had 7, and Artie Caprino had 6 points as well for Huntington. So for the Hawks, they get the win, and Joe Schmidt will got to be feeling pretty good about that. 83-80 in double overtime over Huntington. Game 2 coming up. It'll be the homestanding Morgantown Mohegans taking on the Washington Patriots. That game about 15 minutes away from tipping off here at the Rowdy Center. Once again, final score in Game 1, University 83, Huntington 80 in double overtime. This is the Little General Holiday Classic.